As an anxious attachment style, it is not the ideal situation to be in a relationship with an avoidant partner. And I understand this firsthand because I was you, and I want to give you some guidance on how you can make this relationship work if that is something that you are looking to do. And at the same time, as you listen to everything I'm saying, this can give you a perspective into what life looks like with that person. Hopefully, it can bring you some clarity to know what to expect, and that way you can make your decision on whether or not you want to stick it out in this relationship. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to let me know by hitting the thumbs up button, and consider subscribing to my channel because I have a whole playlist on attachment theory and attachment styles and how to make that work in your relationship. My name is Ellie. I'm a relationship coach that specializes in attachment styles. Let's go over some of the cons in the relationship before we get to the pros. The first one that you might be experiencing commonly in your day-to-day interactions is that your needs are not being met. Your partner doesn't get you. He doesn't know, or she doesn't know, what it is that you want from them to feel connected and to feel secure in that relationship. Anytime that you try to initiate some kind of contact, it is likely that your avoidant partner tries to avoid you and can do things to either run away or distance themselves, at least physically, if they're going to stay in that same area as you, like on a couch. This can be really hurtful, and it can also make you wonder what happened in the relationship, because in the beginning, it is likely that your avoidant person wasn't showing you all of these characteristics, and so you had a different understanding of what you thought the relationship would be. Maybe you often feel anxious when your partner is making plans with their friends instead of spending time with you, or they choose to isolate, as I like to call it, where they're in the same area as you, but you're in different rooms of the house. It is also likely that you've tried to communicate to them what it is you want and were met with some kind of rejection, some kind of angry outburst, or basically that conversation didn't end the way that you wanted it to. Now, before you throw yourself a pity party and think that, yes, all of these things are true, and now what? I don't know how to proceed because I still love this person, but I can't live like this. I can't exist in a relationship where I constantly feel neglected. I have some good news for you. The reason that you are with this person, and it is a blessing in disguise. I know that it's hard to see that at the moment when you're feeling your emotions in their most intense form. But this person is the one person that is going to help you, to push you to grow. I know this because I'm married to an avoidant person, and I am naturally anxious. I've been with him for 7 years, and trust me when I tell you I've lived through all of the things that I just mentioned, and I know exactly how to help you avoid feeling the pain and discomfort of this pairing. You need to realize that all of these behaviors that your partner is doing does not necessarily show you that they don't love you. You might be interpreting it that way because to you that's how it works, but to them it's not. To them, when they feel vulnerable, when they feel scared that they're going to lose you, when they feel unsafe, they want to flee and avoid the conflict instead of having an issue occur where they might lose you. That is one avoidant attachment style. The other one might just be that they're uncomfortable with talking about uncomfortable things, and they're uncomfortable being vulnerable. And you need to understand that the only thing that their behavior is telling you is that this is the way that they learned to survive up until this point. This is the way that they learn to defend themselves and shield themselves from painful situations, uncomfortable situations, and unfortunately, sometimes that's not to your benefit or the benefit of your relationship. So as the anxious attachment person, that is the very first thing that I strongly suggest that you get down and you truly grasp the idea. Being able to view your partner with this sense of compassion, and not in a way where you are like looking at a child like, oh, you poor thing, you hurt your knee, oh, let me kiss your boo-boo. Not in that way. You need to look at them as your equal. And this is a person who has been hurt in the past when they've been vulnerable, or they've been rejected when they tried to be vulnerable, whether it be with their parents or a previous experience in love that could have been super deep and super painful for them to live through. So they learn to avoid their feelings. Whereas you want to talk about them. You want to air things out so that this discomfort is gone and you guys can reconnect. Being able to have compassion for your person is going to be such a vital piece of the foundation. The second part of this is that you need to realize that everything that you're doing and you're inputting into that relationship is in a way affecting the way that they react. So maybe there's something that you are saying or the way that you are clinging on to them, or maybe if they're trying to run away, like get their distance, and you start to follow them up to their room, or like stand there right next to the door and you're trying to have that conversation. Like, you need to be aware of your own actions, what you're doing that might be causing them to like feel like, hey, she's not giving me the space I need, or he's not giving me the space I need. And therefore they want to do that, like they want to hide in their cocoon a lot more because of the way that you're acting. I already know that someone is going to hear this and say, well, I'm not going to change for them. This is ridiculous. Like, they need to just grow up and be an adult and blah, blah, blah. In reality, the two of you both need to adult up because you're on opposite ends of a spectrum that isn't necessarily the secure category. Your goal is to use the partner that you have to become secure. Everything that they're triggering in you that is causing you to feel pain, discomfort, anxiety, are all things that they are showing you that need to be healed in your soul, okay? And vice versa. But the change starts with one person. And I'm going to be honest with you, the likelihood that it's going to be your partner that starts the change is very unlikely, because avoidants do what? That is right. They avoid their conflicts. They avoid uncomfortable situations. One thing that really helped me was to focus on my own feelings and emotions as I was experiencing them, and sort of reflect on why this is happening, why I feel the way that I feel, what about them and something that they did is making you feel the way you feel. Is it reminding you of something? Do you just kind of feel abandoned? Do you just kind of feel like you haven't been chosen? And if those are the feelings, my friend, you need to become your best friend. You need to have an internal dialogue with yourself, like a parent and a child would. There needs to be room for the adult in you, and there needs to be room for the kid in you. If you're able to nurture yourself, if you are able to, you want to feel close, you want to feel loved, do something for yourself that you're seeking from your partner. Do that for yourself, like in the best way that you could. I understand that not literally everything can be done this way, because sometimes you actually need another person to be physically close to you to satisfy, that desire to be close or intimate or next to somebody. But do as much of it for yourself as you can, because this is going to shift your perspective. This is going to take some of that intensity off of the emotions that you feel, so that you can look at the situation and be able to feel how the other person feels in the room too, not just yourself, solely focused on your own need that is not being met at this moment and casting blame onto your partner for not meeting those needs. I know that what I just said is a lot. A lot of people don't want to do the work. But I promise you, the growth opportunity that your avoidant partner is bringing to you is unlike any other relationship that you could possibly look for and find. So in a way, it is a blessing, and it is such an amazing stepping stone to basically grow up and become somewhat less codependent in a negative light. As anxiously attached people, we kind of do have this dysfunction in a way, but I don't want to say dysfunction because that kind of sounds like, there's something wrong with you. There's not anything wrong with you. It's just adjusting habits that aren't helping you get to your goal, versus staying in them and then faulting somebody else and then pitting yourself and becoming the victim, So I don't want to say dysfunction, but things that we're used to doing is probably having a really close relationship with either one of our parents or both of our parents, and kind of being in a way dependent on them in a way that might not be serving us as adults in our adult life. So I found it really helpful to start doing these processes. And at first, it might feel super weird, but to be honest with you, so many people are doing it, and so many people are having amazing lives because they started taking ownership for their own emotions, their own welfare, their own needs, and it really does work. If you want the quickest way to build secure attachment habits but don't know where to start, I built an easy listen along program for you that will help you navigate through the problems that all anxious attachment people go through. Do it at your own pace or when your heart is hurting for immediate results. Join by clicking the link in the description box below. I really hope that what I said was helpful to you. I really hope that it gave you like the clear, honest truth, like straight shooter. No BS, no fluff, just honest answers. And I really hope that you take these things to heart, everything that I said, because it can work in your benefit. And trust me, I became more secure and my whole life changed. My relationship changed for the better. And I'm now able to appreciate the things that my husband was doing for me all along. But because I was so focused on what I didn't have from him that I needed, it kind of got in the way, and I was like always in a bad mood around him because I felt like, oh, but you owe me this, but you're not doing this for me. And now I don't have that. I can sincerely express gratitude and be truly grateful for him, and it just helped our marriage a lot. I know it can do the same for you. Even if you're not married, you're just dating somebody. Honestly, don't miss this amazing opportunity to better yourself. I want to wish you all of the love in your love life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.